Welcome! You're watching an explainer from StatHarbor Analytics. We're all about making analytics decision-safe, especially now in the age of AI. So if you're a data analyst, or maybe a statistician or an economist, you've probably had this quiet thought in the back of your head. Is my job still going to be here in 5 years? Not because you're not good at it, but because the whole game is changing, and it's changing fast. Today, we're going to break down how to make that strategic pivot so you don't just survive what's coming, you become absolutely indispensable.
Okay, let's just cut right to the chase with the single most important question you can ask yourself. When companies have to make tough decisions, they don't ask who's the smartest analyst. They ask, if this person is gone tomorrow, what actually breaks? And if the honest-to-goodness answer is not much, well, that's a problem. Our goal today is to make sure the answer for you is a whole lot.
So here's our game plan. We're going to tackle this head-on. First, we'll identify what I call the AI impact zone. Then, we'll talk about the big pivot, from just doing tasks to taking real ownership. After that, we'll get into how you can attach yourself to a core company risk, what your work should actually look like now, your new role as a human firewall, and finally, what it really means to be that indispensable analyst.
All right, let's start with the part that might be a little uncomfortable. It's time to accept the new reality of where AI is hitting the hardest. This right here, this is ground zero. The impact zone is this classic, almost robotic workflow. You get an email, you write a query, you package up the data, you shoot it back. The scary part? This entire loop is basically the exact job description for AI agents like Copilot and ChatGPT Enterprise.
Let's get even more specific, right? These are the tasks that are just depreciating in value by the day. Answering a simple data request, writing that boilerplate SQL you've written 100 times, manually cleaning up rows in a spreadsheet. These are commodities now. AI can do it faster and, honestly, cheaper. If your day is jam-packed with these things, you are standing directly in the path of automation.
And here is the blunt, non-negotiable business reality that a lot of people miss. When AI makes everyone more productive, companies don't go out and hire more analysts. No, they keep fewer, more essential ones. The goal isn't to help you do your old job 10 times faster. It's to find the one analyst who can provide 10 times the value.
So, how do you become that one analyst? It's not about working harder. It requires a really fundamental pivot in how you even think about what your role is. Let's get into the solution. This table really shows the whole shift. Over on the left, you've got the Task Executor. They live and die by their ticket queue. They deliver charts, they deliver code. They are frankly very easy to replace. But on the right, that's the risk owner. They don't just own a task, they own something the company is terrified of losing. They don't just deliver data, they deliver guarantees. That person is structurally very, very hard to remove.
So, which one are you right now? How can you tell? Well, there's a really simple diagnostic you can use. I call it the signature test. And by the way, if this kind of thinking is useful to you, you might want to subscribe. I share more like this regularly.
Think about the last 5 things you produced at work. Now imagine we erase your name from them and put a colleague's name there instead. Does the outcome change at all? If the answer is no, because the result is pretty standard, then you're operating as a commodity. But if the answer is yes, because your specific knowledge, your skepticism, your context actually prevented a disaster, then you're safe.
Okay, so once you know where you stand, it's time to get strategic. You have to deliberately attach your value to something your company is deeply afraid of losing.
You really have 3 main paths here. First, there's decision risk. You become the person who protects the company from making bad calls based on flawed analysis. Second, system risk. You own the reliability of the data itself. Or third, reputation risk. You're the one who stops the company from shipping something that could lead to a lawsuit or a PR nightmare. Pick one of these and make it your brand.
Choosing your risk, that's the strategy. Now let's talk tactics. Your survival literally depends on changing what you produce day in and day out.
This is so crucial. You have to stop delivering just artifacts. Notebooks, raw SQL results, charts with no interpretation. That's low-value work now. You need to start delivering controls. Things like decision memos, risk assessments, checklists of all the assumptions you made. Look, management keeps the people who reduce uncertainty, not the people who just add more charts to a PowerPoint deck.
Now, you might be thinking, yeah, right, my boss just wants the spreadsheet. Here's the secret. You don't need anyone's permission to own risk. You just start doing it. You use a tactic I call the shadow audit. The next time you're asked for a number, you don't just send the number.
You send a warning along with it, just like this one.
Let's break down why this is so incredibly powerful. In that one little sentence, you did the task, so you're a good contributor. But you also caught a hidden landmine, which makes you a risk owner. And maybe most importantly, you just saved your boss from looking stupid in a meeting. That makes you indispensable. Do this just a few times, and I promise you, they will stop seeing you as a human calculator.
This whole approach leads to a new, really powerful way to think about your job in a world full of AI tools. You are not competing against AI, you are completing it. So here's the new workflow. You've got AI and automation generating code and answers at an incredible speed. But we all know it's full of holes, hallucinations, errors, biases. Your job is to be the human firewall. You are the critical filter that stands between that raw, flawed AI output and the business decisions that rely on it. You make sure only safe, validated information gets through. This is the perfect way to think about it. AI is the engine. It gives you incredible speed. But you are the brakes and the steering wheel. An engine without brakes isn't a car. It's a missile aimed right at your company's bottom line. Companies don't keep the people who just know how to floor it. They keep the people who know how to steer and, crucially, when to stop.
So let's put this all together. What does this new identity actually look like? What does it really mean to be indispensable in this new world?
This table just lays out the stakes perfectly. At level 1, you're just executing requests. From management's point of view, you're basically a cost center, and the AI threat is extreme. Level 2, you provide insights. Okay, that's useful, but AI is getting pretty good at that too. But at level 3, you guarantee safety. Now you're not a cost center, you are business continuity. And the AI threat level? It drops to 0. You've become the insurance policy. So, you have to stop thinking of yourself as just a data analyst. Your new job title, whether it's official or not, is Chief Continuity Officer for your little slice of the business. You are the person who ensures decisions are safe and systems are reliable. Honestly, this way of thinking is the entire reason I built StatHarbor Analytics. Not to teach people tools, but to help analysts make decisions that are truly safe to act on.
Look, if you only take one single thing away from all of this, let it be this. The analysts who are going to survive and thrive in the AI era are not going to be the fastest coders. They are going to be the ones who are the hardest to replace, because they've made themselves the owners of decisions, the controllers of systems, and the defenders of truth. So, let's end right where we started. After everything we've just talked about, ask yourself that question again. If you disappear tomorrow, what breaks? If you've made this pivot from just executing tasks to owning risk, the answer should be crystal clear. The company loses its safety net, and that is a person they can never, ever afford to lose. At StatHarbor Analytics, we help analysts make decisions that won't break later. Thanks for watching, and consider subscribing for more on analytics, AI, and decision-making.